Another sign that inflation may be cooling down. The U.S. inflation rate is now at 2.5%, the lowest we have seen since February of 2021. That comes as the Fed is expecting to cut interest rates later this month. The economy, of course, for everyone who said, why didn't they talk about the economy? They should have turned up the volume, because it was the very first question at last night's debate, and no surprise, the candidates clashed over their plans and how they're going to help voters. Watch this.
Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country.
Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have, and who's going to have higher prices, is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years.
I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors.
He loves the word many. It needs to be the drinking game word when he, many. All right, here with me to discuss two old friends of mine, Peter Spiegel, U.S. Managing Editor for the Financial Times, and former Wall Street banker turned journalist Bill Cohen. He's a founding partner of Puff News. Peter, this is really good news on inflation, but things still cost a lot, right? The average thing you want to buy is still 20% higher than where it was a few years ago. Try to get car insurance, try to get homeowners insurance, crippling. That's why it was a hard question. It was the first question Kamala Harris got asked, that, are you better off? It's hard to say yes, because it's complicated despite all this good news. What's going to change that?
I don't think there's enough time, frankly. And it was, let's be honest, the weakest bit of her debate last night. It was the first question, as you said, first 10, 15 minutes, I thought was her weakest response, because it's tough for her. And even though inflation's coming down, those prices are still high, and it hits working class voters the most, and those are the voters she needs. So, and it's not just car insurance, it is groceries. And we've done polling for the last year. It is really those essential groceries, eggs, meat. Those are the things that really people are complaining about. And I think it's too late, which is why what she needed to do, and she did it obviously by the end of the debate, is change the subject. I don't think the economy is a winner for her, even though inflation now, 2 months before election day,
but here's the thing, it might not be a winner for her. It could potentially have been a winner for Trump, but he flubbed the whole thing, because his plan is tariffs that's only going to worsen inflation, Bill. Like, I don't understand this. Donald Trump is up there, right, saying, listen, we needed these tariffs because I learned during COVID we don't make chips here. So she was able to turn and look at the camera and say, yes, that's why we have the $53 billion CHIPS Act. It was potentially a weakness for her, and Donald Trump made it weaker for himself.
Oh, and then he cites, having gone to Wharton and his Wharton professors, many professors, a tariff is a tax on the American people. The American people are going to pay that tariff, not China, not the people who he's slapping the tax on. So, it's a combination of his inability to actually understand economics, his then talking about how he's going to reduce taxes, the corporate income tax from 21, already incredibly low. He did that in his first term. I think that was a big mistake. Now he wants to lower it to 15. He's going to cut off the taxes on tips. Okay, fine. Taxes on Social Security. Okay, fine. But then somehow, at the same time that he's reducing taxes everywhere, he's also going to finally focus on the national debt.
But no one is. And that's kind of my question, right?
But why does he say he's going to? Why does he pretend that he's focusing on it when he raised the national debt $8 trillion during his administration?
Bill Cohen, have you just asked Peter and I why Donald Trump got it? This show only has 10 minutes to go. We can't help you with that. Do the American people not care about the deficit anymore? Because Donald Trump's plan will balloon the deficit, and Kamala Harris's plan will raise the deficit.
I guess the question is whether the American people ever cared about the deficit. The issue, though, is at some point, the markets will begin to care about the deficit. I spent 6 years in Europe covering the Eurozone debt crisis. At some point, the financial market says, your debt levels are so high, we're not going to fund you, or we're going to fund you at exorbitant rates. And that is bad for everyone. Suddenly, my mortgage rate goes up. Suddenly, my credit card rate goes up. And so at some point, the financial markets will say, I'm not going to fund the American government. And no one, and this used to be, frankly, a Republican issue, right? This is the Tea Party's issue. They would talk about the deficit. The Republican Party that we used to know is all gone.